Hey, welcome back, children of the universe. This is ULC Northern Ministries, Bible study number 30. This is part 4. This is the conclusion. We have dealt today with reviewing Revelations chapter 1 through 3, dealing with what we have learned concerning righteous and just versus wicked and evil. We covered the name Satan being adverse one, the devil meaning a deceiver. The Nicolaitans being wicked and evil people that deceive others into being in voluntary or involuntary servitude to them. So, in conclusion, if we are righteous, then we will be truthful in all that we do. First, starting with being truthful with ourselves. You know, all the 12-step programs, all of the psychological and psychiatric treatments start with admitting you have a problem, right?
Yep.
So, what's the first step to righteousness is being truthful.
Yeah.
With who?
To yourself.
With yourself.
And then with others.
Yeah.
Okay? Having a driver, because we live by what we believe. Our belief is our driver, whether we realize this or not. If I believe that I need a beer, my driver will be to get that beer.
Mm-hmm.
If I believe that I need a cigarette, my driver will be to get that cigarette. If I believe I need coffee, my driver will be to get coffee. Right?
Right.
If I'm hungry, my driver will be to get
Something to eat.
food. Okay? So, making our driver, changing our core belief to promoting universal goodwill towards all humanity and all creation. If we can come to that in ourselves and make our driver that everything we do, say, and act upon is for the goodwill of all humanity and all life, then we'll truly reach the highest stage that we can of righteousness. And I say we can do it. I say we can do that. I say that we as a human race can ascertain the highest form of righteousness, which means that our only drivers is to make sure that everybody has their basic needs met.
That's right.
Amen?
Amen.
That by using our money, time, talents to help others without any expectation of return, this is just. That's a true just thing. Don't expect anything back. Just do. Out of the goodwill for humanity.
Just
Goodwill towards all life. That's hard to do sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is hard to do. I'm not saying this is going to be an easy battle. It's not easy to become righteous. It's not easy to act just. It is easy to be deceitful. It is easy to serve ourselves. It is easy to give in to ourselves. So it's easy to be wicked.
Unless you practice righteousness for the past 20-some years.
But it's all in the path of righteousness. So, if we are wicked, we will be dishonest in what we do. With a driver to just take care of ourselves or what we consider to be a part of ourselves. And this can make us evil. Not that it is evil, but this type of mentality, this type of driver can lead us into evil. Which is the condition of mankind, of humankind. It is evil. Self-centered, self-serving bias. Wicked and evil equals self-serving bias. Deceitful, self-serving bias is evil. Okay. Why do you do what you do each and every day? Do you do what you do to benefit others or just yourself and yours? Answer truthfully. In yourselves.
Oh, I start with myself and my immediate family, and then I move out from there.
What do you do each and every day? Do you do just for yourself and yours? Charity starts in the home.
Yeah,
But do you do just for yourself? So answer truthfully. So with that, are you righteous or are you wicked? Coming into another thing that we studied here, and this is the reason why I brought it this way. If you answered, I am self-centered, I'm wicked. Just be honest, I'm wicked. Then ask yourself if you're okay with that.
No.
If you are, hold on, here you go. If you are, then just stay cold. Wicked is cold. Christ said, I'd rather you be hot or cold. Right?
right.
So, if you are self-centered and wicked, fine. Stay that way.
I'm gonna pretty much sum this up. Okay. Me and Jay gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Make sure that I have a bubble bath ready for Liam. Make sure he gets washed up because he pretty much can't clean himself. He can, but he gets too tired to clean himself. So I'm the one who has to clean him and rinse him off. And I'm the one who has to get up and get him breakfast. There's sometimes to where Jay does it, but
It's a
he's too
sacrifice a
tired.
mother has to take.
And that's actually a sacrifice
Right.
on my part.
But
But
when
the only
you-
thing that's not a sacrifice is that I feel kind of selfish about is not taking him out to the bus because Jay does that.
Well, you get the bubble bath ready. Why can't I take them out?
Yeah, you're right about that. I just feel like
I
you
get
know,
that's a
some
good
days-
compromise, but that doesn't mean that you're wicked.
No.
Because I know that throughout the day, both of you do stuff for other people besides
Well,
just,
besides Liam. 'cause
besides Liam or besides Bethany or besides Wanda or besides, you understand? I've seen, so when we ask ourselves this, if you're righteous or if you're on the path to righteousness, right?
Yeah.
If you've answered that there, then continue to be hot. Because there are eternal rewards awaiting you for sacrifices. Be blessed. Be blessed whether you're wicked or righteous. Accept who you are. Acknowledge who you are. Be truthful so that you're not evil. Because you can be wicked and just. Wicked and just is, I'm wicked. It's just how it is. I'm self-serving. I could give two craps less about anybody else. That's wicked, but it's just. Righteous is, I'll do anything for anybody, any given time, minute of the day that I can,
Oh yeah.
even to my own demise.
Yeah. It's just
That's
like
righteous and just.
When I
So, you're able to be wicked and just. And you're able to be righteous and just. But if you're wicked and evil,
You need to change your ways.
then you need to change the ways.
yeah.
So be blessed. And if anybody felt defensive about this was a non-judgmental thing. I ask you to look deep within yourself and ask, why did you get offended if you did? And those of you in the e-audience, if you felt offended by something that was spoken here, this is not a judgment call. I'm not saying that you're wicked and evil. If you felt like I was calling you wicked and evil, look into yourself
That's right.
and ask yourself, why did I feel that what he said was offensive? When we get offended, it normally means something in it rang true to our inner core that we didn't want to accept, and we're deceiving ourselves about it.
Right.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
When we get defensive about something, we get defensive out of fear. Fear that, oh my God, I may be wicked and evil.
Does that fall along the lines of judging somebody before they even know them?
Yeah.
Yes, prejudice.
Why don't we go ahead and finish this? It's been much.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
finish.
okay, so as we go forward, if you want to be wicked, at least be just. If you want to be righteous, welcome to a hard path. because it's hard to be
Right.
righteous.
Even once you
And
practice
just.
righteousness, once you practice righteousness on a daily basis, it's still a challenge, but it becomes harder to deceive others once you're at that point.
Yeah.
So why try?
I had a like kind of a testimony. I've been used. I used other people.
You've been used, you've been
I've been-
abused.
I've been abused by other people, but I haven't abused other people because I know how that feels. But I did use a lot of people. I did. I had like when I got money, it was like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want that kind of thing, and then I changed my whole aspect to myself, to my to myself and to others. Since I like.
Well, I can tell you this, each and every one of you sacrifice to the church,
Yeah.
okay?
But it's a sacrifice of love.
Each and every one of you sacrifice to the church. I hope I sacrifice enough to the church. Sometimes
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm doing enough, that I'm not getting enough done. But that's called atypical, understand, that's called an atypical personality trait. We never think that we've done enough. There's just no getting around that.
Yeah.
It's just my root nature. That will never change. That will never change because my root nature is, if you think you're done, do some more. Remember, we live by what we believe.
Right.
And here's the thing, because I'll be like perfectly honest. When people used me, because it like kind of led on to me. When people used me, that actually fell back on me. It's like, do I have enough for this? Do I have enough for that? And I just felt like everything was over top of me. I was crying in the bathroom, and I understand. Like, yeah, I'm trying to help out with the church, but yeah, there's some days where I feel like, yeah.
Because of what you've been through
Because of
before.
what I've been through
Okay.
before.
I guess we'll have to address the usage as opposed to abusage, because there is a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, use.
There's a big.
True
difference.
use is give and take.
Yeah.
In other words, you give something and you get something in return. Okay, that's
Yeah.
so use is okay.
Yeah.
Now abuse is when the giving
Mm-hmm.
becomes one-sided and the taking
It's
becomes
one-sided.
one-sided and not reciprocal. Okay? Eros love. When the Bible, I guess this is, we covered unconditional love and now we're going to cover Eros. When God said to us, I love you not as the world loves you, He said, I agape you not as the world eroses you. Eros is the symbol, is a snake that's eating its own tail.
It's almost like the world snake.
Yeah, it's
No,
one-sided.
I get it. It's the unconditional love.
Unconditional love is reciprocal. It's actually an arrow going up and an arrow going down. That's the symbol for
Almost
agape.
like the infinity loop.
Similar, but it is literally an arrow going up and an arrow going down. Meaning that as I give, so I receive. Doesn't always mean you're going to receive from the very people you give to.
And I don't expect that because I expect an unconditional love. It's just
I never asked for any. I never asked for
People that used
anything.
me were like,
And you know what, Sister Wanda, if you
I
need
didn't
help,
feel that unconditional love.
you're always getting on me,
Yes.
so if you need help with stuff, guess what? You have a whole church here that has nothing better to do than to come over and help you with your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I am
I'm
not
sorry,
the
these
person
granddaughters, you can lean on them.
Yeah.
These nieces, you can lean on them because what does Bethany do all day?
Daughters.
What do you do all day, Bethany?
Son.
Most of the day.
You cranky.
You're cranky,
No,
you do.
what I'm saying, it doesn't matter what's going on. What do you truly have to do in a day? Eat, sleep, shit, pee.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So,
Clean your room.
but
Yeah.
every
She
day.
does that quite a bit.
Well, no, what I'm saying is every day. What, Krista? You've got a kid to get off to school. You got a husband to take care of, but then
My day is taking a nap when I have to.
When you have the opportunity.
You have the opportunity.
oh, trust me, I wish
It's
I'd try to
like,
take a nap every day, but it don't never happen.
I don't really think.
I
it's
would,
gonna
I would
fix
love to
itself.
sleep in, but that's never gonna happen.
One of what I'm saying is you have all of us, you know, that can figure out how to help you with what you're doing.
Yeah,
And
but I'm fine.
so, you know, so that work goes both ways. You know, everybody tells me, well, if I'm in trouble to say something. Well, the same goes for all of you all. If you're in need, ask. It's not abusage. It's not abusage to give and receive help.
Yeah.
Does that
it's
make any
just like-
sense?
Yeah.
It is abusage if someone is just constantly
Well,
taking.
I had a very important appointment that I had to go to. No one else was there to help me. I called Bethany. She come down off the hill when she was living on the hill, and she was up with her grandfather. While I went out and I got stuff,
Right, that's what
but
I'm
I
saying.
needed
That's-
to do.
Yeah.
So was that abuse or use?
That was.
You got some quality time with Gramps, huh?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean,
That's
All the
using-
hunting shows and all the fishing shows I could watch, so I was fine
right?
with it.
Yeah, yeah.
That
You got an insight on Gramps and an insight on what your mom had to
Here's
put up
an
with all
awesome
day.
thing.
Yeah,
We got a good friend that Liam loves.
Basically, I
loves him
ignored.
and stuff.
Basically,
And
basically, I
when
just
we-
ignored
like,
my ex and
When
just
we tell
wait.
him,
I
we
told his
don't
grandma
really,
I'm
like,
going.
we
My
don't
mom
tell him what
needs me
we
at the
need,
house.
but when we tell him that we basically, hey, like, I think it was when we went out with him, as a family, because he's part of our family too. We were mentioning about baby stuff, and him and mom's like, you know what? Don't worry about it.
You'll have what you need.
Yeah,
Well, here you
that's
go.
what they
Well,
told me.
hold on. Now that
You will be
And his
taken
family
care
told
of.
me the same thing. I didn't have to tell them, hey, I need this, and that.
so is
You
that
never have
person
to
righteous?
think twice.
Oh,
You
That
never
person
have
is
to ask
beyond
twice.
right.
Do you see what? Do you see what I'm saying?
John is very righteous.
Is he doing? Does he get something? Are you abusing him,
No,
No.
because
When
Or-
I first
or-
met John, I felt
or is
like
he getting something in return?
he's
He's
getting
getting-
love.
He gets love. And he
So
gets,
it's okay to pay somebody for love.
We're
no.
not paying
No,
him.
no, I want to make
Okay.
sure because we're on recording.
Right.
Because
Okay. The love he gets in return, he doesn't expect that.
No.
Yes, he knows it's going to come, but his biggest thing is he loves spending time with Liam. He loves spending time
and I
with
think
us.
I know who you're
he
talking about, and
loves
I
this family.
I think that he truly gets joy out of making sure that people he cares about has enrichments.
We are his
Oh, yeah.
family.
We are his
He
extended
adopted us.
He gives you
Yes.
enrichments. Understand? He gives you enrichments. Can you afford to go to these places on your own?
No.
No.
Would you even think about going to half these places because you can't
There's
afford
some
it?
days to where we don't.
No,
We
I'm
only
saying.
went-
No, I'm
No,
saying.
he's
Tell
I'm
him
saying-
the truth. We always went during income tax to those places.
Yeah.
So
we never got to go on a regular basis.
So can I ask you a question? What can we do to repay him for his righteousness?
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward.
Pay it
Because I think
forward,
that's
and
what he
that'll happen on
expects.
his birthday.
Yeah.
I'm saying no. I think that's what he expects, and that's what I'm saying.
He wants us to help others the way he helps us.
We lead by example, people. That's what this comes down to. We lead by example. We're led by example, and we lead by example. If we're going to be the light of the world,
He's
then let's be a good light.
he's a very
Oh.
good teacher for Liam.
For instance,
It's-
I'm going to be honest. I paid all my bills and did not have any money for my nicotine, and because you know this, I do this most of the
Finds
time.
a cigarette.
But John gave me enough money to go buy my juice for a month to put in here.
He saw a want, a desire, or a need, and he helped. So when Christ said, I love you, and what greater love is there than a man lay down his life for his friends? Go and do likewise. What are we supposed to do?
I'm
We're
sorry.
supposed to do unto others as they.
As we would want to be done.
I would lay my life
Sounds
down
like a military.
tomorrow if it
How he
if it
sacrifices for his whole entire country.
I'd
He
lay my
doesn't
life
expect
down tomorrow
anything
if
back.
it served my kids and my family. I would lay my life down tomorrow to make my kids' life better.
I would lay my life down to make this whole world better if I could.
Me too.
Yeah.
If laying my life down would bring peace, true peace, and harmonious coexistence,
Yeah.
I would be willing to do that.
I'm gonna
sit-
s-
I would sit and cry on my bed, and I would go to the end of the earth for my family, my friends, everything.
I will say this. The reason why I don't risk my life is because I don't want Athena to go through what I went through. At 8 years old, I lost my father, and I didn't ever actually what you say no.
It's not about risking a life. I'm saying if I knew that laying myself down would bring true peace, harmony,
Just like God
and
did.
Yes, I would.
Just
Then
like
I
God
would.
did.
so what can we do to bring the kingdom of heaven on this earth? And that's where I'm
Doing
leaving
exactly
this.
what you're doing.
That's
Do
where I'm
exactly
leaving
what
this.
God did when He was up top of that on that cross.
What can you in the audience, what can you do each day to bring peace, harmony, and coexistence? What can you do to be righteous and just? If there's anybody here that needs prayer, which I don't think so because we had a big prayer service in between.
We had a prayer king on.
So let's close this finally with our prayer. Great Creator, thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for our life. Go with us and teach us how to be righteous. Deliver us from evildoers. And all of us repeat this. Forgive us
Forgive us
us.
any wrongdoings.
for
Any
any
wrongdoings.
wrongdoings.
Amen.
Amen.
Thanks for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Join us next week. I'm not quite sure where I'm going next week with this stuff on the review because there's a lot to cover in those 3 chapters that for review. I do know that one part of this is going to be the compared strengths and the compared weaknesses of the church, of the churches that those letters were written to, and also a listing of the promises that came, the rewards that came. So that's probably where I'm focusing next week. You're probably going to be on the.
There was one church that had some weaknesses, but God didn't reprimand them for those weaknesses.
Right, and we're going to cover that one too. And so be blessed, be righteous and just, or be wicked and just. Either way, be hot
Be
or cold.
just.
Be just.
You just.
And go with peace.
We shall see you next Wednesday, and for those that watch both this and the Wicca studies, we'll see you on Wednesday.